just strap down those headphones and turn up the volume. You're gonna be here for a while.
Hi, I'm Cherami Leigh, and you're watching Area DMG. Okay.
Hi, and welcome back to Radio DMG. I'm your host, Philip Wesley, and with me today is
Cherami Leigh.
And you're a voice actor.
I am a voice actor.
You've done a little bit of radio, etc.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I worked for Radio Disney, and I do a lot of animated work for Funimation primarily.
Primarily Funimation.
Yes.
Because of the proximity.
Yes, I live in Dallas, and they record in Flower Mound, so it's
so
close.
that kind of works.
It is. It is very convenient. 19 minutes away from my house.
Oh, that's pretty good. So, how did you get started in voice acting?
I started acting when I was 6 years old, and then at that time it was only needed to be a voice actor or a VO talent that you could read, because they only needed kids to read. So I could talk really fast and I could read, so that meant that I did almost all of the voiceovers for kids in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So when I was 9, I did my first cartoon, and I played a hummingbird named Eve, and then I worked on Radio Disney doing voiceover work. So I did a lot of voiceover work, which kept me busy when film stuff wasn't as prevalent when I was a kid. So working at Radio Disney, which I still do now, when I was 18, I was a DJ, and I had my own show Saturday and Sunday night, so I was doing all the live stuff and national radio show, which was an awesome experience. And same year, I started working at Funimation I auditioned for a show called Peach Girl and got cast as Psy. And then I guess it's been 4 years, which is crazy, that I've been working there and working on different shows. So it's very cool.
So what was it like what was your first recording session with Funimation like?
It was really different, because when I went to the audition, I brought a headshot, because I do a lot of on-camera work too, so I brought a headshot and all of this stuff, and they were like, yeah, you were dressed up really nice. We were like, you're just going to be in a booth, nobody's going to see you. So when I found out I got cast and I went to my first recording session, most voiceover work that I had worked on previously, there were no beeps. I didn't have to match flaps. And with Japanese anime, that is what it's all about. So they would say, okay, you're going to listen for the 3 beeps, and then on the 4th imaginary beep, then you're going to start talking. And I thought, what? So it took a couple of times to get into the swing of things, but it was cool. They were great.
Yeah, the whole sync point bit.
Yes.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's always great.
It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that leads to a lot of different outtakes and such.
It does, and one of the funny things that some of the engineers like to do at Funimation is when we'll do, I had a funny, I was not feeling all that great, and I could still do one of my voices, but my voice squeaked, and it sounded like a clown horn. And so that was my beeps. So it was like, and that was where I couldn't do it. I laughed. I couldn't get through that take. But that's the kind of stuff they do.
Well, at least they're paying by hour, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's like, take all the time you guys need, that type of thing.
Yeah. We do have a I guess it's like a bracket of how many lines we're supposed to get through an hour. So we do have what we're supposed to be hitting each time. So, yeah.
So are you working on anything currently for Funimation?
I
that
am.
You can talk about?
Well, that's always the question.
That's the question.
I worked on a show. Oh, this is my water bottle. That was loud. I worked on a show called Dance in the Vampire Bund, and I don't think that my character name is being released yet. But I can say that I'm not one of the main 2 girls. But I do have a pretty fun role in there, and it's something that I haven't ever played before. And there's a couple shows that I just got cast in that I'm working on right now that I wish I could talk about, and they've sworn me to secrecy, and they'll murder me if I say anything, and no, I'm kidding. But yeah, I really wish I could share, and I'm excited for later on this year when I'm allowed to talk about it, because they're really fun roles.
So you've tried radio.
Yes.
You've done radio. You're still doing radio. You've done voiceover acting, and apparently Broadway and stuff. Sorry, not Broadway, like theater stuff?
Yes.
You've done theater stuff. Mm-hmm. Have you thought about doing audio books or video games?
I have done, I actually did a video game Thursday before I came here, and I think she's selling it in the dealer's room at A-Kon this weekend. So I've done, and I worked on Lux Pain, so I've done a couple of video games, and I've done one or two audiobooks. Most of them are for young kids learning to read. So the trick there is they have a specific word per minute that they're aiming for, and so for the 5 and 6-year-olds just learning to read, it sounds like it's excruciatingly painfully slow to talk that slow, but that's their reading level. So then we have to gauge all the way up into college and stuff like that. So I've done things like that, and that's a lot of fun. And I also do some industrial stuff, like the training videos for some restaurants and things like that. So those excruciatingly painful videos that you have to sit through once you get hired at a corporation, it might be me.
So like, make sure to flip the burger to the left.
Yes, most of the ones that I've been doing deal with pizza and hot wings and stuff like that. So it's like,
Pizza Hut.
Calibrate the oven to 37 point, oh man, it's crazy. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's always fun.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, could I work there? Probably not, because I don't really remember everything that I would have to do, so.
So then you'd have to listen to yourself.
Exactly, I'd have to listen to myself again.
So, since it sounds like you started out acting and such very young, do you feel that's if you were given a choice to like not act or to or to act, which would you choose? Like, let's say if you could do it all over again.
I would do it all over again, just the same. I had gone to LA a couple of times, and we dealt with the question of when I was 8 years old if I should move out to LA. And at the time, I was like, that would have been so cool if we'd moved out there. But my life would have been completely different. I wouldn't be on the path that I am now, and I wouldn't be the person that I am now with the experiences of going to high school and, spending as much time with my family and having as many varied experiences in the industry. I've interned at a talent agency before. I've worked with casting directors so I know what it's like on the opposite side of the table. So if I wasn't going to be an actor, I'm sure I would still be in the business to some degree, because I just love every aspect of the industry. Even though it's rough and sometimes I'll get frustrated, I really do love it. So I would not change anything.
A real quick question, since you do work a lot with radio and you've done a lot of voice acting stuff, do you by any chance sing?
I do.
Okay, I was wondering, because I had to ask.
I do. This was a new development, though, because in high school I had been told not to sing because I wasn't very good at it. But I don't do. I mean, I can, but I'm not a great choral singer. More of the singing that I do is more belting, Broadway, I guess, pop, jazz, stuff like that. So, yeah, I like to sing. I did a musical for the first time this year. I played Sally in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, which was a lot of fun. And I'll be doing another play later. And I actually have sung in a lot of anime cartoons, which was kind of cool. So, yeah.
Oh, cool. Are you planning to have you done any original stuff, or are you just?
I haven't. I would love to. Well, I would have to learn to play an instrument first so that I could do stuff
not
like
so
that.
much. I'm pretty sure some of these singers don't know how to play.
That's true. But I would really like to learn how to do that. I sang in a film that I did called Beyond the Farthest Star, and I'm a gothic sort of darkness. I have dark black highlights in my hair, so I guess they're low lights rather, and I wear all black and men's clothing and things like that. So she's very dark and angsty, and it's a really fun movie. But that's an original song. I didn't write it. Natalie Gore wrote it, and she's awesome. So she wrote the song, and I got to sing it. So I got to sing an original song. But as far as writing my own music, I would love to learn to play the piano. Other than just Mary Had a Little Lamb, which is what I could play right now. And probably write my own songs. So that's something on the bucket list that I would like to do at some point.
On the bucket list.
On the bucket list. I have a little bit of time, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Got your whole life ahead of you. Live!
Live! No, I
Yes.
don't know. Maybe I'll like make it my quest for the end of the year. I don't know about that.
So, like, any particular plays or musicals right now that you'd love to be in, if you had a chance?
Ooh, that I'd love to be in. There's a long list. I love the musical Wicked. I think that's great. I love the play August Osage County. I'm probably going to be going to New York later this year, so hopefully I could check out some shows and broaden my horizons of what I'm aware of, because Wicked and like Legally Blonde and things like that, they're very cliche shows, but they're really fun shows. I like upbeat fun shows. I also like the really dark. I like Jekyll and Hyde, and
That's a pretty
fun
good one.
I love that show.
You love that one?
And
Are you able to sing any of the ones from it?
Maybe.
Maybe?
I don't know. I would have to work on some of those songs. But I do love that musical. And I'm trying to think. I like really, I'm so weird. I like really bright, fun, happy musicals, and I like really dark, angsty, emotional musicals.
So somewhere between like Rent and Annie Get Your Gun.
Yeah,
right?
somewhere in there. That's a good range. So
Pretty
basically
good.
all of anything.
Yeah, all of anything. So since you really can't talk about the stuff that you're doing in Funimation.
Yes.
Anything you can talk about in regards to, say, Radio Disney, or are you going to be on any of the Disney original movies they have coming up?
I wish. That would be cool. Disney Channel and Radio Disney aren't necessarily connected as far as the talent crossover, because Radio Disney is produced out of Dallas and Disney Channel is produced out of LA. But I will be working on a film called The Home with Michelle Rodriguez and Brian Cox and Ed Asner and Cloris Leachman later in the year, and I'm working on a film called Archaic Redemption, which is a zombie werewolf sort of post-apocalypse film, but it's unlike, it's very character driven, and I know this is going to upset a lot of people, but the zombies do have personalities and they do talk, so it's a different spin on things. And I'm not a zombie, I'm a human. So I'm one of the few humans in that. And Beyond the Farthest Star should be coming out. I think they were saying maybe close to Christmas. And
sounds like a Christmas movie.
Yeah. It's a dark movie with a little bit of a Christmas twist. And I'm potentially, I did a web series called Throwing Stones. So we did the first season that premiered on Mingle Media and Coldcast, and it did really, really well. So we've got our fingers crossed for a potential season 2, which would be really graphic and gory, and there'd be a lot of death. So my fingers are crossed that if we got to do a season 2, that my character Robin, who is a jock, would not die. That would be awesome.
It's like get eaten alive by things.
Oh, I would hope not.
So I've noticed that, like, actually, our audience can't see it, but you're wearing a lot of blue, or like, what is that stone?
Turquoise.
Turquoise. Is that your birthstone?
It's not. My birthstone is a ruby. I don't know why today I
felt very turquoisey.
I was a very turquoisey person, and I like turquoise a lot. It's if it were my birthstone, that would be cool. But I'm a ruby. My birthday's actually next month in July. I'll be 23.
Oh. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And happy early birthday.
Yeah, on my
early.
birthday I'll be working. I'll be rehearsing for a play that I'm doing here in Dallas called Seven's a Crowd, and I will be playing Envy. So it's a comedy about the 7 deadly sins. So I am a sin and I am envy. Wearing lots of lime green.
Shame didn't get to be Envy in Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh my gosh, that would have been so cool.
Yeah. So have there been shows that you've tried out for that you didn't get, that you kind of wish you did?
Yeah, definitely. But then once
Any specific ones?
I don't know. I know. There's a lot of shows that I really love the concepts for, and I really love what they're about, and I love the characters, and I was like, man, it would be so great if I got to work on this. And then I see the cast and I hear what their work is, and I'm like, I could not wish this any differently. They are so great as a unit, and I love the work that they do, and I don't want to change it because they made the show I like it the way they did it. So even though I would have loved to have been a part of it, I wouldn't change it. So I mean, it's kind of it's a catch-22. And at the same time, there's been a lot of shows that I've wanted to get so badly, and I got, and it was so exciting. So yeah, it works out.
So what's your current favorite role that you've been in?
Oh, I don't know. Lizzie in Black Butler was a lot of fun because I got to have a British accent, and I've always wanted to do something with a British accent. Now my quest is to do something on camera with a British accent. Patty is a lot of fun just because she's wacky and she has no rules, and I kind of got to let loose in the booth. I really liked Mai and Ghost Hunt because I love paranormal stuff. I love ghosts and supernatural and stuff like that, and the character was pretty similar to me, so that was cool. I actually write a lot of scripts that deal with a lot of paranormal and things like that, so maybe I'll start producing some of those too. That would be cool. So yeah. And villains are always fun.
So do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know. I kind of want to believe in the idea of ghosts. I think it's more fun to believe that there's a mystery and there's something out there other than just us. You know?
Of course.
I think that's way more fun. Because if it's just us,
it's a little boring.
Cool. To think that there are like 18 ghosts in the room with us right now doing this interview is a lot cooler.
They were the previous interviewees. No, just kidding.
Now I'm scared.
No, I'm kidding. It's like, that's Kyle LeBear over there.
Hey, Kyle.
Of course. So you're going to be working with some heavy hitters in the industry in that upcoming movie.
Yeah,
like Cloris Leachman, Ed Asner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still geek out a little bit when you meet somebody?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I worked on Temple Grandin with Claire Danes, which won an Emmy. And when I first met her, she said, "Hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm Claire Danes." And of course, I kind of have to calm down, cool myself off, and be not the nerd who's like, "I know exactly who you are. I could list every film you've ever been in. I love you. You're awesome." And instead, I'm just like, "I'm Cherami. It's nice to meet you."
It's like, cool. It's like, you were just great in Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You're brilliant in everything, and you're gonna win an Emmy for this movie. If I were psychic, I could be able to tell you that. Yeah.
The spirits told you.
Exactly. My friends, the spirits, they follow me around. So
you talk to them. The voices in the head.
That's a role I need to play. That would be cool.
Hopefully, you'll be able to play something like that, especially if Funimation gets some of these shows that are coming out, like Dragon Crisis or Puella Magi Madoka Magica.
That would be so cool.
That would be pretty great if they got that.
It would be awesome.
If they got, have you seen that one yet?
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't seen Puella Magi?
I've heard a little bit about it, but I haven't seen it.
It's kind of like Cardcaptor Sakura meets Berserk.
Nice.
So
nice.
yeah.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
So where do you go? Where do you find the vocal depth for when you're assigned a character?
Mm-hmm.
Do you just go with what a lot of the direction, or do you have how do you form how that character's gonna sound?
When we go to auditions, we're given a giant binder with a couple pictures of the character, and then a paragraph, like a synopsis about them, what they're going to do in the show, and then a couple lines and how they relate to the show and how they relate to the other characters. So, based on that, you kind of get a feel for them, and then you go in to speak with the director, and he'll give you the direction that he's taking with the show. And since I've worked there for a while, it's nice that the directors kind of know my voice and know kind of how they might want to shift me in what direction they want to take me. And we also watch the Japanese, and I'll research the show and kind of see how I would relate to this character, or how I can maintain the integrity of the brilliance that the Japanese created, because we wouldn't be producing it if it weren't a great show. So we always want to remain true to that when we're producing it. And just getting to play. I think one of the characters for a villain that I got, they just called me in, and it was in Nabari. For some reason, when I watched the clip in Japanese and I heard her voice and how it translated into my voice, in my brain it was like Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter. So that was how my brain had compartmentalized that. So it was a little darker and a little edgier and a little deeper, but there was an element of Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter in the inspiration for that character, oddly enough. So, yeah.
So how many of these conventions have you been to?
Normally I'll go to like one, maybe two a year, and that's not my choice. That's just, how it's happened.
Scheduling.
Well, actually, I didn't, I had a crazy thing with confusion and websites, sometimes scheduling. I shifted representation and things like that. So that definitely affected how people could contact me to see if I wanted to go to a convention. But this year, I think I'm going to like 6 or 7. So that's it's way cool. I was in North Carolina last weekend before last, and then Ohio, and now back at home this weekend, and next month I'll be back in Ohio. So it's always nice getting to play around and see everybody and go check out the various dealers' rooms and artist alleys. And I stalk the artists here at the convention. So I'm a big fan of artists. So I will follow them forever.
That's a little frightening.
Isn't it?
Like, even after you die, you'll haunt them.
I know. I love art. I actually I'm going to college right now, and I'm either going to... I think I'm going to minor in art history. I thought I was going to major in it, but I think I'm going to minor in art history so that at some point I could be a, art and historical film consultant on films and things like that.
So you want to be a critic, essentially?
No, I would like, if I wasn't going to be able to act in a project and I was going to do some stuff behind the scenes, I would... be the person that would say, like, this isn't really right for this time period. This painting is more accurate for this time period with this frame, to make sure that everything fits with the time period of the film that they're producing while they're on set.
So what would your major be?
I think I'm probably going to major in some sort of communications journalism type thing, because I also really like journalism and writing, and minor in art history. So I love history, so I get a little bit of history, a little bit of art, a little bit of writing, and communications. I talk for a living, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do what you love.
Exactly. I was going to get a film major and do that route, but I was like, that's what I do for a living, and I can get that experience being on set. So why not get something else that's just going to broaden my repertoire even more? So that's what I'm going to do.
So since you've been to many conventions, let's go with experiences, best and then worst experience.
I actually haven't had a worst experience at a convention, honestly. They've all been really, really good.
No crazy fans be like, I liked you in that movie, like Sergeant Frog or Talia.
I guess they're always pretty cool about it. I have had people that somebody, and it wasn't crazy. It was kind of funny. I was sitting at an autograph table, and somebody's like, it says here that you play Patty in Soul Eater, and I said, yeah, I do, and she's like, prove it. I'm like, okay. So I said a couple lines, and I laughed, and she goes, it kind of sounds like her, but it's louder in the anime. And I was like, I don't have a mic on me. It was funny. And then later on, she goes, yeah, you really do look like that girl who they say plays her on the internet. They have pictures of her. I was like, it's because it is me.
It's like, I don't believe you. They're like, I'm sorry, I don't have sound engineering stuff. I can't move this up a little bit.
That's what somebody said when I was telling the story today. Somebody goes, yeah, because you carry a soundboard with you. I was
all
like, exactly.
Time. All the time.
It's in my purse.
On the iPhone.
Yeah,
there's an app for
exactly. There probably will be. We say that now as a joke. I give them a year. There'll be a soundboard on the app.
But it won't be compatible with the current one.
That's true.
It'll be compatible with the next one.
It'll be the iPhone 8. In a year, we're going to have the iPhone 8. Get on it, guys. I just set the precedent for you.
Absolutely.
Mac is going to hate me. I'm kidding.
Steve Jobs is going to show up at your house.
You said we're only going to be at the iPhone 6 by next year. Sorry.
Happens.
Yeah, I still don't have my iPhone 4 yet, or my iPad. So I'm behind in the Mac world.
So you did work on a DS game, Lux Pain. What did you do for it?
I played Nami, who this was so long ago, but she was kind of psychic with animals, which was cool. Again, with the psychic and the spiritual and the paranormal, I was like, yes, please, I want to do this. She had her little animal companion, and Yeah, it was a really fun game. I'm pretty sure I bought the game. I haven't played it all the way through yet, but it really is one of those storytelling games. So for people that want to go, shoot people and things like that, they should probably go play LA Noire, which the graphics on it are out of this world amazing. But so it's not a game like that, but it's fun. It's a good storytelling game.
Kind of like 999 or the Phoenix Wright series.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you played the Phoenix Wright series?
I haven't, but I've heard about it.
Check it out.
My brother's the big gamer in our family.
Oh, okay.
So I have my DS, and I love Pirates of the Caribbean, and I love Indiana Jones, and I love Iron Man. So those are my three obsessive, crazy properties, I guess. So I have the Lego Pirates of the Caribbean that I think is awesome, and Lego Indiana Jones.
Ah.
So, Legoland.
Yeah,
So cool.
Lego.
What is wrong with Lego?
Nothing
it's a
is wrong with
forever.
Lego.
Yeah.
No, they've done so much with that particular
They
franchise.
have.
I know.
It's crazy.
Would given the opportunity, would you be in one of their games?
Oh, heck yeah.
It's like.
I would be if they asked, it would be a whole, half a millisecond before I screamed on the phone and said, "Thank you, please, yes. I'll be there tomorrow. Do you want to shoot in Italy? Because I'll record in Italy. I will fly myself there." I would be so excited. That would be awesome. Yeah, we went to Legoland a couple of years ago, and yes, I'm going to be 23, but at Disneyland and Legoland, any sort of theme park where there's children, I'm a giant kid.
It
I'm
happens.
a giant kid.
Well, Legos bring out the kid in everybody.
They totally do.
They do.
They're
Most
great.
people won't admit it, but
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, Legos! No."
No, as they're building a giant Yoda under the table.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
like,
have you Legos.
Legos? No, Gears of War, that type of thing. Then somebody
World
puts
of
out
Warcraft.
Lego Halo, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
exactly. That's
And
coming, I'm sure. That's
eventually.
another one I'm going to predict.
we're gonna have like Lego Sin
Halo.
City."
Lego World of Warcraft. It's going to be great.
That would be
That would be an
crazy.
adventure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would.
That would be pretty crazy. They charge you per brick.
That would be hilarious.
They're red brick farmers out in China. They make their prisoners. It's like, okay, this section of the prison is doing blue bricks today. This
And
one's
this
doing
is doing
green.
yellow bricks. And that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that would be such a good game. We should contact Lego.
Yes, definitely.
Get a piece of this creation. You know how much it's going to cost. It's going to make millions. Billions. So,
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's Lego. Come on.
So, where do you see yourself in about 5 years?
Oh, man. In 5 years, I hope to be working, continuing to do what I love, doing more film work, doing more animation stuff. I would love to work and travel overseas and shoot a film or record a series that took place overseas. I would love to start producing my own stuff, finishing some scripts and producing things, and I don't know. And the possibilities are endless. Whatever falls in my lap, if it's right time, right place, right opportunity, I'll do it. Because I mean, like I said, I love every aspect of this industry, and I loved getting to play on the radio. I would totally do that again in a heartbeat. Yeah, I don't know. It would just be, everything's open. That'd be cool.
Yeah, so like hopefully it'll be something like it'll be a supernatural thing in Italy or something,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my gosh.
You'll be in like the last Twilight movie or something.
You totally named it. That would be amazing. Supernatural in Italy. I will be there. I will live there. It will be amazing. As something like the Da Vinci Code, where they have art and history and supernatural and religious and all this craziness, that mystery stuff. Man, I would be in heaven. So that would be a blast.
So we could mention something like, okay, religion. I noticed you mentioned religious there.
Yeah.
Are you a believer or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I would call myself a spiritual person, and one of my things about religion is that I'm so interested in everybody's belief system, and that I research a lot of religions, and that's actually one of the films that I'm working on right now. But the way I believe in things is I'm like, whatever works for everybody, if that gets you through the day, that works for you. It might not work for me, but I'm going to respect you and your belief system, and learn more about it, because I can't make a judgment on it if I don't know it. And I think there's a lot of valid points and belief systems in every religion. That's why it's functioning. That's why people believe in it, you know? So, yeah, religion's a very interesting beast, in my opinion. So
interesting beast.
It's very cool.
That's the box quote right there.
Yeah.
Religion, it's an interesting beast. Dun,
it's a t-shirt. It's going to be great.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah.
So, yes, that's been nice doing the interview with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're having a good time here at A-Kon?
I'm having a blast.
Having a blast.
So much fun.
You'll be back next year?
I hope so. If they want me back, I will be back. I mean, I live here, so it's just a bonus.
It's kind of like, you don't have to worry about
It's a vacation away from home. I mean, I left my phone charger at home, so...
a vacation from your phone charger.
Yeah.
I'm sure it misses you.
It does. I know it does, because I miss it so much. So I think my grandparents are actually going to be bringing it to me, which is the other bonus of being at home and having grandparents that live across the street from your parents. So
that's always
good.
It's
like Everybody Loves Raymond, except it's functional.
Yeah.
We don't hate each other.
It's a good, family is a very good thing.
Oh, absolutely. I have a great family. Everybody's really close-knit, so that's awesome, and very supportive.
That's always good. It's good to have support.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One more thing, actually.
Yeah,
a lot of I've asked this of the other guests and stuff too. Now, at these conventions, a lot of people get to the conventions. They're outgoing and everywhere. They're really bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, that type of deal. But when they get out of the convention, they just kind of clam up. They're very almost antisocial.
The guests?
Would you? No. The people who go.
Goers.
The convention goers. Any tips on how that convention goers can bring that energy that they have at the convention
definitely.
out to their normal everyday lives?
Well, because everybody, like you said, everybody's so excited to be here, and I feel like, I mean, I was a nerd in school, and so I feel like that may be part of it for a lot of people. They just don't feel like they fit in I guess, the quote-unquote outside world, because here at the con, everybody's awesome, and everybody's supportive and understanding, and so, I mean, I guess everybody seems to be so confident, and everybody knows who they are, and I admire a lot of the cosplayers, because to have the confidence to get dressed up and own your character and all that stuff, I think it's really awesome. And to take that confidence and see them so confident, and then, if you were to see them outside the convention, like you said, they're quiet and they don't have that same radiance that they did at the convention. It's like, bottle that confidence that you had, because it's all you created it, and, just own it. Go be, all Fawns, full metal out at school. Hey, if that's what works to get you through the day and feeling confident, do it. I think it really just comes down to because my whole thing in high school was I was afraid that people wouldn't accept me because I was a little weird or I didn't necessarily fit in. And once I figured out, like, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It just matters about how I think of myself and how I perceive myself and how I want to present myself. I think once everybody feels that way, it gets a whole lot easier.
Oh, definitely.
So, yeah.
So, real quick question.
Yeah.
Because, we still have a little bit of time.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. What's the best cosplay you've seen so far this week?
Oh, man. Well, today was actually, I'm very biased in that the characters that I've played already top other people because we have a bond. So when I woke up this morning and I got off the elevator, I saw the entire cast of Black Butler, including Lizzie. That was amazing. And then about 5 minutes later, I saw the entire cast of Soul Eater, including Patty, and that was awesome. And then 15 minutes later, I saw Rode at my autograph table. So it was like, this is the day for cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
And they all looked awesome. And then I saw somebody who was cosplayed as Excalibur, and that was pretty amazing. Excalibur is not an easy cosplay. That was impressive.
No.
So.
It's not an easy song either.
No, it's not, but it's hilarious.
Oh, could I get you to sing the song?
Oh, God.
The Excalibur song?
I could not do it justice.
Oh.
It's so good, though. I think when I first saw it, I was like, from the United King, I'm looking for him, I'm going to California? What does this song even mean?
Yeah.
Nothing, but you can't get it out of your head.
But can you sing it just A little bit. Just a little bit.
Excalibur, Excalibur. That's the best I'll do. I can't sound like Excalibur. It's too low for me.
Too low.
It's too low. Yeah.
Too low.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. I love Excalibur.
Ah.
I actually made my grandmother buy a keychain of Excalibur. It's still on her purse.
Of course.
Yes, most definitely.
Well, it's been a pretty great interview.
It's been a blast. Thank you so much.
No problem. And, let's go ahead and say goodnight to our studio audience. Well,
good night, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. And, oh my gosh, we have a caller. It's the ghost!
Oh, must be. I suppose so. Well, I guess, let's go ahead and wrap this up. This is your host, Philip Wesley, for Radio DMG. And I'm here with
Cherami Leigh.
And good night.
Night.
And welcome back to Radio DMG. I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth. I'm here at A-Kon 23 with
Cherami Leigh.
And what do you do, just in case people forgot?
I am an actor. I do on-camera acting, films, and TV, and I also do a lot of voice acting for anime and other cartoons.
So what are you currently working on?
I was just announced to be playing Knee Socks in Panty and Stocking, as well as Shiki. I am playing Sunako in Shiki, which just, I guess, dropped. And then there's a couple other things I'm working on, but I don't know if Funimation has released all of that information, so, yeah.
So, what do you think of A-Kon so far?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, I love A-Kon. I'm from Dallas, so it's nice to... I don't know why it's nice to go to a hotel in the area that you live in and just, like, have a vacation and chill. And there's so many fun things here. The artists are super talented. And it's just nice to see the fans. They're always very supportive here. Well, any convention. But here, I guess since I'm from here, I feel love from the state and the people. I don't know.
You mentioned that you just finished up Shiki, which is kind of one of those creepy little series and stuff.
Yes.
What was your favorite part of that?
I really just enjoy the show being... I describe the show as being a complete gray area. You know, you have villains and you have heroes, but the side changes depending on what perspective who you want to ally with and who the audience wants to ally with. And it's interesting in my panel we were discussing it. Some people were talking about, well, the humans are great and the vampires are evil. And then other people were fighting, and they both saw the same show, just see it from different perspectives. And I just really love that element of the show and how it's written. And it's very good about being pretty unbiased and allowing the audience to make their own decisions, which I really like that in any sort of storytelling process.
And the whole supernatural aspect doesn't hurt at all.
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, yeah.
No, because we all know I'm a fan of that. Ghosts
Oh, yeah.
and vampires and all sorts of the unknown creepy things.
So anything creepy happened since, last time we interviewed you?
No. No, I don't think so. I mean, not that I remember anyway. Sorry, that's not exciting.
Oh.
I should make up something.
Yeah.
I think my phone just went off, and I'm not really sure how that happened. So maybe
Probably
there's
wires.
I think there's someone here in my phone. There's a little person living in my phone.
What's the little person living in your phone's name?
I don't know. We should probably name it, shouldn't we? Let's see what the little noise was, and let's see if that makes sense. Oh. Michael, apparently.
Ah.
That's not a fun name either.
Nope. And you have to add something to it at the end. So, have you been? What else have you been up to besides some of the stuff with Funimation? Any video games or anything recently?
I did work on a couple video games. I don't know if those have been released and things. I did Throwing Stones Season 2. We did a Season 2, and that was released, and that did really well. And I did a film that was in production, post-production, and I think it's slated to come out in September. And just working on some other projects like that. I did a couple other films that are in post-production now. So various things at different stages, a couple things that are trying to get funding so they can be made, which is always a fun process. So it's been pretty chill, actually.
So should we start a Kickstarter to help you through those?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think there's a couple Kickstarters going on. but I don't know at what place they are. One of the projects is called Run, and I think they decided to postpone that and tweak things a little bit. And then there was another project that I was looking at working on in Los Angeles, and they're tweaking the script and looking at things like that. So it's always a process. You never know. I'm sure it'll be like one of those days where I'll get the call and they'll be like, "Can you be here to shoot in like 2 days?" Yeah, wow, okay. So that's the business. That's what makes it fun. It's very chill, and then it's very busy, and then chill and busy.
So, how do you decide what, like when you get offered a job or so, or when you see these parts, how do you decide which ones you want to be in or which ones you want to go for? Or do you just kind of take the shotgun approach? It's like, okay, this.
Well, I mean, if I'll audition for things, and I'm not really at a place where I can pick stuff necessarily, but if it's a project that I audition for and I get the project and I read the script and I'm like, I don't think I can do this. It's not content-wise what I'm comfortable with, or something like that, then I will turn it down or say I'm not really willing to work on it. But I've been really fortunate lately with reading a lot of great scripts and different stories that tell about a side of humanity or someone's life that I don't know much about. And so I would like to jump in their shoes for a month, 3 months, and get to know how they would function. And I think in a way that broadens my own life experience and allows me to see things from other perspectives. So.
Oh, I don't think we asked this last time, but are there any books you're currently reading now? Well, of course we didn't ask about that this time.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
I'm actually reading The Discovery of Witches and also The Hunger Games. And then I just bought a book, and I haven't started it yet, so I don't remember what the title is. But I'm finishing up a book called The Eight, which is a really fun book. So yeah, I'm reading multiple books at the same time, and then just other fun books. I like spiritual or positive quotes, so I always have those books lying around. I have the quotable Walt Disney. So my favorite game to do is like hold it, open it up to a page, have a question in my head, and Walt Disney always has the right answer for me. I don't really know how that works, because it's Walt Disney magic.
It's it. I mean, he invented the magic
kingdom.
He
did. He's a magical man, that Walt Disney.
Have you been to Walt Disney World yet?
Oh, yes.
Oh, how many times?
I've been to Walt Disney World once, but I've been to Disneyland about, 8 times. And I love Disneyland because it's so compact that you could do everything in a day. Walt Disney World, we spread it out into 3 days. So.
What's your favorite ride at Walt Disneyland?
That's so hard. I love Pirates. I love Haunted Mansion. Indiana Jones is very cool. And Space Mountain, I had forgotten. I thought it was going to be, horribly terrifying because I hadn't ridden it in a while. It's not. It's great. It's really fun. It's a good part to, I think, hang out with a family. The rides are entertaining enough, but you're not going to, kids aren't going to cry and hate their lives. So,
well, of course.
No. Unless you ride Tower of Terror, in which case
and besides,
you might be a little terrified.
Hating their lives comes later. That's high school.
Right. Exactly. You go to the happiest place on earth to forget about your life and live in the fairy tale castle for a day.
With ghosts.
Yeah, right.
Yes, of course.
Hey.
So, going back to the books, how far are you in the Hunger Games?
Not very far. I mean, I saw the movie first, and I loved the movie, and so I thought, well, do I really need to read the book? Because I saw the movie, am I going to, have a different perspective? And so I had put it off, and then people were like, no, you really just have to read the books. You'll really like them. There's always stuff that gets left out, but you'll really appreciate the book. So I ordered it on Amazon, and I actually just started reading it last night, so I didn't get very far.
So not very far in it.
I came back from the convention, I was like, yeah, I'll read for a little while, and passed out. I was exhausted. So,
It happens.
Yeah, but I love The Hunger Games. The movie was insanely cool, so.
So, what other movies have you seen recently?
I saw The Avengers.
How many times?
I've only seen it once.
Oh, shame on you.
I know. I wanted to see it more, but I've been traveling back and forth from various cities. I haven't been in one city more than 2 weeks. So when I came back to Texas and my boyfriend was here, he's like, you have to see the Avengers. I saw it yesterday and we have to see it again. And I was like, okay. And he's like, we're seeing it like today, as soon as you get off the plane. So we saw the Avengers, and then I'll just have to figure out another time to see it. I'm going to watch Thor in my hotel later today because I hadn't seen it, and I kind of was like, it doesn't look that great, but it's going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. It's you know.
It's got Tom Middleston in
it. It's going to be good. So I'll be watching that later. And I saw Dark Shadows. It was, not incredibly awesome, I didn't think, but it was fun. But I don't think it's supposed to be like an Academy Award-winning movie. Yeah. I think it's just supposed to be a fun, like, enjoyment, spectacle kind of film.
Did you ever see the old soap opera that's based on?
No, my mom had watched it, so she it was very different, which I thought was a very wise choice for them, because when people are such fans of a show, you either have to do it exactly like it, or you have to do something completely different and maintain an element of the show and kind of make it your own. So I thought that was a very wise choice to do that and kind of make it your own so people aren't judging it, which they're going to do anyway.
Kind of like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Totally different than the comics.
Exactly. But, I mean, it still maintains, elements of the comics.
Do you watch The Walking Dead or not enough ghosts?
Yeah, no, I do. I do watch The Walking Dead.
It's like, would you love to be a zombie on that show or something?
Oh, it's Frank Darabont. I mean, anything, the man is a genius. If he's like, I'm going to make you this crazy zombie person with, no arm, and you're going to be, I'd be like, okay, dude, you're a genius, whatever you say.
So, give us your best zombie impression.
Oh, my gosh, I can't do that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
You're like, nope.
I would have to practice. I would never be able to do the integrity, and if Frank Darabont heard this, he would be like, oh, this is a terrible audition, I can't hire her. I would have to do my zombie research.
Or at least not sleep for a couple days.
Exactly.
Like the whole thing. Wait till the end of the convention.
Exactly. I've probably done a great zombie impression at the airport a couple of times, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure they love that.
Yeah. It was frightening at the airport when one of the security men knew who. He was like, hey, you! I know you! Because I've been going to the airport so often. I'm like, oh, this is not good.
No.
I will give you $1 to not know who I am, sir. So, yeah.
All that traveling can be a little bit taxing. How do you keep in touch with your family and your home life and all that? I
love my phone. My iPhone is great. I'm always texting everybody and calling everyone, and everybody's been. I mean, since I've only been in one place more than 2-3 weeks. As soon as I start missing people, I'm going back, and then I'm going back. So it's been a good sort of. Small breaking away, spending time alone, and still getting to see people. Now I'm probably going to have to slow down and stay in one place for a little while just so I don't lose my mind. And sleeping on a plane is not very easy. And also, plane tickets are expensive. So staying in one place might be fun for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned earlier that you also now have a significant other. How do you meet that person?
How did I meet him the first time?
How'd you meet?
Yeah.
How'd this happen?
Oh, we met in college doing a directing acting class. And then he ended up writing a play, and I ended up auditioning for it, and we worked on the show. And then we just started hanging out and dating, and now we have been together for almost 3 years. So
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so it's very fun.
I was hoping for some type of rescued me from such a...
Yeah, no.
Let's get some great stories
Nothing crazy awesome. I mean, we should make up something. I was in a real haunted mansion, and he, fell in through the ceiling. He would probably like that better.
Yeah. That'd make for a better proposal story.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. That would be... In a haunted mansion, that might be scary. Although, I had a friend who... proposed to his now wife in a graveyard, and it was a really cool story. They're very happy. It was at night too. I'm like, I would think if you're driving along, you're pulling up to a graveyard, you start to get a little nervous, but she didn't. So there you go.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of terrifying. It's like you walk out into the graveyard. It's like, well, I thought I'd talk to you about our relationship.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's
Like, oh, how's this going?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
There's not an open one over here.
Grab the shovel.
Yeah. Why don't you
goodness.
sit here in this very dark light here next to this grave? Yeah, that looks like a good spot. I'll be right back. I just have to get something out of my coat pocket. Like, this is just not...
Yeah, at that
Get a
point.
little nervous. I don't know. I mean, it works for some people. Who knows? It might.
so.
I guess that's true love. Who am I to judge? I don't know.
So, what else are you working on a third season for Throwing Stones? Is there going to be one?
I don't know. If there is a third season coming up, I haven't been approached about being a part of it, so I don't think I would be a part of it. I think my character is kind of finished in the show, unless they were going to retool it and work it someplace else. I don't know. The writers are really good, so I don't know what they've got in store. But season 2 was a very fun season to work on, and we shot that in 3 days, and it was a very intense 3 days. We actually started the first day, the longest day, all of the stuff in the gym we shot on my birthday.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like crying and watching people die on my birthday. It was really eventful.
That's always a fun story. It's like,
but you know, on my birthday, everybody's saying happy birthday to me, and there was a cake, and everybody's covered in blood. I mean, it was like, how often do you get that birthday where everybody's
very
fine,
often.
covered in blood? Yeah, no. So it was very fun.
well, not very often in this country.
That is true. That is true. I like it better when it's happier, though, and everybody's fine. They
Not
just have,
covered
like,
in blood.
sticky blood rather than, like,
Yeah.
blood from their body, you know.
So, what's your favorite? Like, I mentioned the convention stuff here. We already mentioned that. Are you working on any more music or anything currently?
I am not. I mean, I'm staying in a couple of animated shows. In the film that's coming out in September, Beyond the Farthest Star, I sing a song in that film. And I've done some shows, like singing live, but I haven't made any efforts or had any interest in writing songs or taking music that direction. I mean, it would be fun. I think if I were going to do that, I would want to work with somebody to kind of help me progress in playing a musical instrument and being able to write music, because I would really love to do that. So that's probably something at some point in my life I would like to do.
Have you thought of any other type of writing?
I do. I write scripts and screenplays and things like that. I actually just finished writing a feature film, and then I'm in the rewriting stage for that. And I have finished writing a comedy television pilot, and I'm in the rewriting stages of that as well. So, yeah, I'm always writing things. I'm coming up with ideas. I have like 5 to 10 ideas for scripts that I want to start working on. So once I get these in a good place, then I can start working on the others.
Oh, I don't think I asked you this last time, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you this time. Some of the stuff that you work on contains like profanity or some more risque content.
Yeah.
What does your family think of this?
I don't know. I mean, there'd be some shows that I will let them know. I mean, anime stuff, there's always fan service. There's things like that. And I'll let them know ahead of time, like, here, this is going to happen. And if they don't want to watch it, that's fine. It's definitely awkward. But what I always have thought of, especially in a film, that would be when I would have a little more of a say, I guess, if I were working on something that was a little more risque in that area, because it would be me on camera rather than just my voice, and the animation was already drawn, so I look at it that way and just telling the story. But I think that if it serves the story and it's integral to the story, and it makes people connect more with the characters and understand where they're coming from, and it has a purpose, and it's a great story, and it's written well, and the characters has a lot of integrity or passion for something, then I would, consider doing that, and my family would respect that. If I was just doing it for just gratuitous reasons, I think that they would probably be disappointed, as I would be disappointed in myself. The weird thing is, my boyfriend does not like to watch me doing projects where I die or I'm in like any amount of like serious danger. He doesn't like it. So, but like language and all that stuff, my family's like they're pretty okay with it. I mean, I guess if it were like every other word, they might have an issue, but if it's like here and there and there's a purpose for it, they're understanding because they know it's work and it's not me. And if I started behaving that way, like on the street, like hanging out with them, like at a family dinner, I think they might pull me aside and tell me to stop doing that.
Intervention.
Yeah, pretty much. You're
It's like,
taking
have a
your
seat
work
over
home.
here.
Yeah. So, no, but that hasn't happened. So, that's been pretty good.
So, anything that you'd like to go ahead and plug and stuff before we get going?
My fan page, The Epic Nights of Cherami Leigh, is super awesome and supportive. And when they created it, I was very surprised because I didn't know that many people would be supportive of my work, but they've been really cool. They wrote a theme song, and I'm very, very grateful to them and all of the love and support they've shown me. So I will give a shout out to them. And I guess the film that's coming out, Beyond the Farthest Star, in September. And Panty and Stocking, I think they said was coming out this summer. And Shiki's out now. And then there's a couple other shows that will be coming out that I'm excited for everybody to hear. So,
Beyond the Farthest Stars, it can be a wide release?
that's a good question. I think they're still trying to figure out how distribution is going to work because it's a faith-based film. So, I mean, it's a very gritty faith-based film. My character is suicidal and very opinionated, and she is dealing with a lot of anger and resentment and misunderstanding from her family. So there's a lot of things going on. So a lot of the faith-based community has been weary of how the general public will respond to the project. But hopefully, eventually, it will be a wide release, or it'll start small and then go from there.
Kind of like with what happened with Fireproof and Courageous.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So hopefully, I mean, we're optimistic. We don't know what's going to happen.
Would you ever want to work with the people who made Fireproof and Courageous?
Oh, definitely. Okay. I mean, the reason that I was really drawn to this script is it's a very hopeful project, and you could definitely see a journey of self-discovery, and it's a very intelligent script. The family dynamic is really strong, and it was an opportunity for me to play a character that I have not gotten to play before, and I get to sing, which was terrifying for me, but I was able to get past it, and it was just something I had to get over. A lot of fears about doing things like that. I smoked in the film, which I'm not a smoker, so that was very...
That would ruin your voice.
Yeah, actually it didn't. It was, I don't know how that didn't happen, but I was very fortunate that it didn't. So, but yeah, any project, any company that would have a great script and they would like me to be part of the project, I would definitely try to make it work. Because I love my job and any time to work. And paying bills is awesome too.
Oh.
And doing my job allows that to happen.
Having the money to pay the bills is awesome, not the paying the bills part.
You're right. Yeah. Having the money to pay the bills plus some so you can do fun things with the extra money.
Like go to Disneyland.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Well, thank you for doing this interview with us today. This has been Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth with Radio DMG, over here at A-Kon 23 with
Cherami Leigh.
And good night. Say good night.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Justin Duarte from Geek Street Society with my boy Chain Clouds in the building.
And Philip Wesley from Radio DMG and Area DMG and DMGX.com. And we're all here together at Non-DeskCon 2013 with
Cherami Leigh.
So,
Well, Cherami Leigh, what drove you to get into the anime scene, really?
I actually just fell into it. I started acting when I was 5, doing on-camera work and commercials, and then started doing voiceover when I was 7. Did some animated projects and radio shows and worked for Radio Disney, and then when I turned 18 and graduated from high school, an opportunity came up to audition for Funimation, and I knew of anime as Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and Sailor Moon, and I liked those, and I played the games, but I didn't know of the vast world and all of the genres that were part of the genre as well. So once I got an introduction, I auditioned for Peach Girl. I got cast and went to Anime Boston, which was my first convention, so I got like a crash course in anime, and then kept auditioning and working, it's been great.
Well, Cherami,
Yes.
just a real quick question. Since we've interviewed you before,
Yes.
what are you currently up to?
Right now I'm recording Fairy Tale. We just premiered the movie Phoenix Princess here at A-Kon last night, which was awesome. And we had a Q&A. Todd Habercorn, who plays Natsu, and Tia Ballard, who plays Happy, is here. And Taliesin Jaffe, who's the villain in the movie, was also on the panel, which is great. Sword Art Online, I have finished recording, but it's airing on Toonami, so I'm working on that. And then just auditioning and working on some other projects that, of course, I'm on NDA about, so can't share. But those are the two big projects that I'm really promoting and currently working on that I can talk about. So.
Okay.
If there was a character, if there was an anime character that you identify with the most, which anime character would that be?
So hard. Well, when I'm playing them, it's interesting that while I'm working on the shows, and I don't know what cosmic universe greater plan this is, but some of the lines that I'm saying and the things that I'm working through will be issues that I'm dealing with in my life, so it's very therapeutic to get to say it, and it's oftentimes the characters I'm working on at points in my life are exactly the characters that I need to be hearing from and learning from. So I guess right now, since I've been working with Lucy a lot, and they were asking me, what's different about you and Lucy? I'm like, very little is different about us, other than I'm not really magical. I would like to be, so I'll just have to work on that. But yeah, I mean, I relate to all of them. There's a little bit of me in all of them, even the villain characters, because the way I approach a villain is that they have their set belief system, and they're full force going to go for it and see it through to the end. And oftentimes they figure out that might not be the ultimate way of the world, and that's a crushing blow to anyone. So yeah, there's a little bit of me in all of them. I can't pick just one and say that's it. That's the one that I'm so much like, and I'm goofy like some of the other characters. There's the characters that are really all about integrity and have their moral compass, and they're not going to stray from that. It's just different characters focus on different things, and I'll channel that to be the driving force of how I play that character. So.
Speaking of Fairy Tale, how is this experience going on? Because I've really been a big fan of it since it came out.
It's been fantastic. I mean, from the beginning of auditioning for the show and just hearing everybody talk about what a fun show it was going to be, and it's a magic show, it's a fun show, it's a family show, it's all these things rolled into one. And when we went and premiered it in New York, it was a fantastic experience to get to be there with Colleen and Newton and Todd and the director, and getting to meet the creator of the series, who was flown out from Japan for the premiere, and getting to see it with him, and then getting to see the fan response just grow and grow, and getting to do more and more episodes. I think I've lived with Lucy longer than I've lived with any other animated character, which is a fantastic thing to get to work with. And the show is one of my favorites. I think if I wasn't in it, it would still be a favorite show of mine. So it's fantastic to see how it goes. And when we got to work on the movie, I'm really proud of the movie. And I'm really, really proud and impressed of everybody's performances in the movie. And I hope we get to do more and more episodes, and I hope they make more in Japan, and we just keep going, because it's like we were talking last night, these characters are like family to us, and the cast that we've worked with is like family. Even though we don't see them often, we hear them all the time, and if I didn't hear Tia as Happy or Todd as Natsu or Colleen as Urza, I would probably feel like something was very wrong in my life. So I'm very proud to be a part of the show. I love it very, very much.
So the show has a bit of a family atmosphere.
Yeah.
Speaking of, one thing about families is families tend to be compassionate toward each other.
Absolutely.
Is there anything charitable that you're working with currently?
There are a couple. I have been involved with an organization, and it's a chronic healing organization where they get together once a month, and they make organic meals for the homeless. So I do that once a month, and I'm really, really big on not bullying because I was bullied in high school, and so that's a big thing, especially girls attacking girls because of jealousy or whatever. So actually, oddly enough, the hat that I'm wearing, it's a kind campaign, and the whole phrase is all about being kind, and it's promoting cyber kindness, and there's a place where girls can go and write anonymous, or they can name someone else and just say, like, so-and-so did this really nice thing for me at school today, and I can never talk to her, but I just want to point it here. And so it's getting all the energy out, and I feel like thoughts are energy, so any sort of positive thought you can have, that's where I always want to place the emphasis of mine. So being at this convention and knowing that this is a Stop Bullying charity,
Stomp Out Bullying is one of the ones from this one in particular,
which I'm super excited about supporting.
Kind of like what you're talking about, like with the girl on girl bullying, that type of, kind of like the whole Lindsay Lohan Mean Girls type thing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I saw the Be Kind hat and I was like, I'm wondering if that has to do with like actual kindness, or we're in Colorado.
It's a little bit of both. I mean, I feel like if everybody. I feel like in society right now there's so much of an emphasis when something negative happens, everybody wants to attack the attacker, where I feel like the emphasis should be put on helping those who were attacked. Mm-hmm. And so when we send so much negative energy towards an already negative situation, all we're doing is growing the negative monster. Whereas if we decided this is an opportunity to change our thought process and make it all about something positive and helping these people and changing the emphasis of where we think and where we attack and where we spend our energy, I think that might make a huge difference. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm really interested in doing, and I'm always looking for more causes to support. I like to spend a lot of time with kids, so I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that I can channel that into an organization, and supporting young actors and body image for girls. That's another big one for me, especially growing up in this industry and knowing that weight and body image and being perfect, and there's such a pressure on females in particular, and men as well. I mean, men are supposed to be like strong and tough and whatever, and being sensitive is frowned upon, but actually I feel like men should be sensitive. That's sensitive and compassionate, and if they're being told not to do that, then they're shutting out a part of themselves and they're not being fully true to who they are. So I feel like in different ways everybody should just start to open their minds and start seeing people for people. And I have a shirt that says, people are people, be human. So that kind of stuff is all about being kind, being open, being receptive, and just allowing people to be human and looking out for the positive aspects of things. So
just being kind.
Being kind, yeah. Golden rule.
Yeah. Jump straight to me. Okay. Where do you honestly see yourself with your career in the next 5 years?
I have no idea, because, it's, I think, 7 years ago, I was not even working in anime. And if somebody had said, well, this is where you're going to be, and you're going to have shows that you're in that are on Cartoon Network, I would not, you're going to move to LA and you're going to be working in things like that, I would have said, okay, sure, whatever, but I would have not known that would have been the case, or that I would have been a DJ on Radio Disney and had my own show and been in over 100 anime shows and been a film. I was a lead in a film that's coming out October 18th. So all these things keep coming up, and then there are a couple other films that I worked on that are going to festivals in New York and Toronto and things like that. So I honestly, I don't know. I'm getting married next year, so everything's changing. I've just started, just started working in LA and still being in Texas. My family's there, so I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, I would love to always keep working. I'd love to be producing and writing my own stuff. I am writing films and screenplays and things like that. So I would love to start producing that stuff. I would love to do some work on series, and I would love to do some prelay cartoons and more video games and motion capture, and the sky's the limit. I'm just open to whatever falls in my lap. So, I don't know. It's a good question.
Hey, real quick, actually, do you have the ring on you currently?
I don't.
Oh, no.
I don't think I
was
do.
going to ask you, because he has a camera right there.
Oh!
I know, but
I don't. It's getting sized.
Oh, it's getting sized.
Yeah. We're gonna get.
Make sure you get sized during the summer when you get that size. Because
okay.
in the winter, your fingers shrink a little bit.
Okay.
So it'd be really loose in the winter if you and really tight in the summer. If you measure it in the winter, it'll be tight in the summer. Measure it in the summer, it'll probably be a little loose during the winter, but that's fine.
Good to know. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to ask a little bit about that. How did he finally pop the question?
It was around Christmas, and we were going back for the family, and so I love Christmas, so it's just a huge thing. He's an actor and a writer as well, so there were a lot of our friends and family there, and one of the first plays that we did, he did a line from that and then retooled the line, so it was more personal to us. And he had a friend of ours that was in the show that flew out and played the music that he had written for the show. So yeah, it was very cool.
What was the play?
Okay. It's a play that he wrote, and it's called Dream. So it was the first show that he'd ever written, and we were in college together and doing a directing class, and so he had me audition for the show, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then, going on, it'll be 4 years that we've been together in December, so 4 years later. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Very cool. Thank you.
Now, are there any characters that you would envision yourself wanting to play?
Well, someone asked me if I would ever want to be a pony in My Little Pony. Absolutely. That would be cool. I don't think there's ever characters necessarily that I envision myself playing as far as cartoons go, because the scope is so large for cartoon. I mean, I could play a rock, I could play a talking, crazy, weird animal, I don't know. So the scope is so grandiose for that, and I can't even cut it down. Films that I would like to work on, I would love to do a Da Vinci Code National Treasure style film over in Italy, finding out deeper meanings of paintings and uncovering history and all of those kinds of things. I think that would be fantastic. So that's a film I've always wanted to do. I also love Disney movies and Disney rides. So I love when the TV shows or the stories are all based off of Disney things. So that would be fun. Again, if work comes my way, I oftentimes don't judge it. If it's meant to be and it's meant to be something I work on, it's going to work out, and I'm super excited. One of my favorite book series is called The Giver, and it's the Lois Lowry book series. I'm reading another book about Harry Houdini's illegitimate daughter. Whether or not she is actually his daughter is not determined, but she's psychic and all of those fun, crazy, supernatural things. So I read all the time. So I'm always reading books going, this should be a movie, and I really want to do this. So that would be cool.
Well,
I'm just trying to take everything in. So
Yeah.
Looks like we've got time for about one last question. Really quickly, I don't think this is your first time at Non-DesCon, right?
It is.
So, what do you think of Non-DesCon? What can we do to bring you back next year, and what do you think we can improve on a little bit?
I have had the most magnificent time at this convention. I've heard fantastic things about it for years, so I've always been wanting to come. I've always wanted to come to Denver. I'm actually in the process of hopefully planning a trip to come out here and vacation soon. So the only thing that would have to happen for me to want to come back is to be invited back, and I would be here instantaneously. I just love the convention. The staff is tremendous. They're always 2-3 steps ahead, and that's amazing. So we're all blown away, especially with the horrible weather situation and all the flooding that's going on. I don't know how they've been able to keep everything together, and we were trying to get around, and they were circulating and taking us the scenic route to still see a little bit of Colorado, but not get washed away with the water. Yeah. So it's amazing. So I love it. I love this convention.
The water is just really warm snow. We're dealing with snow.
They're just angry waters.
Angry waters. Well, it's been great talking to you again.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
This has been Philip Wesley with Radio DMG, and
this is Justin
with
GeekStreetSociety.com.
Chain Clouds with GeekStreetSociety.com.
And we've been interviewing
Cherami Leigh
over here at Non-DesCon 2013.
Yay.
Well, see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello. I'm enjoying my smart water here. It's giant. You could tell it's the beginning of the day because I haven't
Haven't gotten
begun
to it
to
yet.
tackle
Yeah.
it. So,